You seem down. Got something on your mind? I hope you know I'm here for you.
You can stop pretending like you don't know.
So, now you have the truth. I'm completely worthless as a woman. Can you imagine how that feels? My trouble is I'm not imperfect enough. Do you think I could use a few more flaws?
Wow. I love how irresponsible you are. Refreshing.
Hope you all are doing well. This is the second episode in as many weeks, which is fascinating for someone in law school like me. But thankfully I've had a little bit more time in this semester. Here's the thing about this paralogue is you get limited deployment slots, and Manuela is force deployed over by herself on the right. And in this run, she is a reason magic user, so she is a mage right now. Her defenses are awful. The fact that the enemies can see her is a serious problem. We're going to have to try and get over there as fast as possible. We have Dorothea here who can hopefully reposition Manuela out of danger, but the problem is that Dorothea is also pathetically weak and will die whenever anything looks at her. Ferdinand is going to get a level out of warding somebody, I believe.
The noble standard.
So there's the noble standard of his worthless stats that he gets an increase in. And now we have Bernadetta as our mech suit, our possibly best unit. Petra is probably the most useful offensive unit, but she can't take a hit really either. Speed is her big asset.
Not so fast.
Now you can see Bernadetta is actually doing her job quite well. Here we have Sighleth using his relatively high evasiveness and defenses against this brawler. And now that brawler, of course, is in the forest. The fact that magic doesn't really care about that is helpful. Petra is going to get hit by a 25% chance hit, which I wasn't really counting on and is quite bad. Here is that speed asset coming into play, getting rid of that enemy sniper. Having her on the front line isn't good, I'd say. Ferdinand is still the holder of Thyrsus, so he is going to have a fire come out of the forest and attack somebody. Sighleth is going to keep the forest fires contained within the forest. He's more purist about these things.
My turn.
Hanneman is also here. You can see that he is just a regular armor knight, so his mech suit is not as strong as Bernadetta's. We're going to try and shield everybody from the consequences of our actions here and just hide in the forest. Manuela, just hang on. Alright, let's see if this defensive formation works out. It works out okay enough for Hanneman because he's still alive. And Bernie is, of course, a completely invincible wall. Now, Petra isn't. She has gotten really unlucky, so it looks like at least this roll of the RNG is not going to work out. So we're going to have to go back a little bit. If we lose Petra, this run is basically soft-locked, even though we're not going to use her for most of the second half of the game. So we'll get back to getting rid of this sniper, at least. Because we know we need to do that. We might need to heal Petra, though. And that might get us out of this. Okay, so we don't attack with Ferdinand either, so that should also roll things a little differently in the RNG. Sighleth is going to blow this guy up just as before. And now we do some of the same movement shenanigans and see how it works. Okay, Hanneman not accomplishing anything, but he's still okay. This same... Ooh, a critical 0 on Bernie. And she gets a crest activation. Interesting. Now the key question is whether Petra dodges this, and she doesn't, and she had just the wrong amount of HP. Alright, going to have to make a little bit more of a serious change then if Petra just can't live through that. So we're going to have to actually fight over here, which wasn't my plan, since I don't know how long Manuela is going to be able to live. Alright, so Sighleth can get rid of this. If we just stop the sniper from moving very far, maybe we'll be able to limit any potential for it to just, like, kill us. Rat Strike here from Bernie does a little bit of damage. Actually getting rid of this thing is going to be really challenging. Birdie can do a good bit of damage, but I don't know if we have the capacity to finish it off. Maybe Dorothea can do it and then just, like, fly for her life. A Night Kneeler with the Steel Lance and an unnecessary critical hit will do it.
I won't go down so easily.
Oh, well, you actually would if we let it attack you. Alright, so right there appears to be safe, given that the sniper can't traverse the forest all that well, and now we have to get this smash with Hanneman. He gets it, that's incredible. And who do we have coming at Hanneman? Oh, he'll live, he's fine, don't worry about it. I'm not worried about it, are you? Alright, Manuela's still okay for the moment. Hanneman can take the magic like it's nothing. This is a bit of a different story, but he has 3 entire hit points, 3 times as many as he needs. He's good. Sighleth getting attacked here, and he's actually going to take the opportunity to dodge, which Petra was just passing up. So Petra's going to get a little bit of passive healing from Dorothea, and just one-shot this axe wielder that was about to kill Hanneman.
My heart is full of victory.
And then we have this mage here who can absolutely Shrek Bernie, but Hanneman can do whatever he wants. Now Bernie can finish it off without triggering a counterattack, it looks like. And there we go, okay. So left side is now clear for us to move along. But the time limit is on Manuela. We have to get to her before anything at all attacks her. Birdie can come on out and finish this sniper. Yes, there we go. In melee, of course, with his Thyrsus. And now Dorothea can move along, and Manuela is trying to stay out of trouble. So far, she's successful, but it looks like she's pulling some aggro, so that's no good. Okay, silence she's not allowed to use, so we'll do a bit of movement shenanigans, then mix it up here. Sighleth is going to pull out the most powerful spell in the game, which is Kirsten's Arrow, and he doesn't get a crit with it, despite the opportunity to get a 69 crit. Blaine is very disappointed and shows that displeasure with a terrible level. Birdie can finish that guy off. Looks like the mage duels aren't going that poorly for Sighleth. Probably a consequence of this being one of the paralogs that doesn't scale with levels. We're going to have Dorothea pull Sighleth into the forest and get off of her Pegasus so as to get maximum dodge from being in the forest. So she's doing fine so far. Her resistance is really high, so she just takes a little bit of damage.
Let's do this.
This could be a problem if it lands, and it doesn't, so that's good. That means Dorothea will not be locked in place, so she can get back on the Pegasus. I don't know if we'll do that this turn. I don't think Manuela is under imminent threat. Ferdy can get things started. We can't get all that aggressive unless this lands, because that will rattle everyone in this line. Okay, now we're set to be able to make some moves with Manuela. We can get her out of the danger zone and actually have her attack something so that she can rejoin the squad. And Petra's down. Looks like we were not very careful in our movement shenanigans down on the bottom. So we know the Pegasi are going to start moving down, whatever we do to fix the Petra problem. We get a little drama with Constance there, but we have to rewind again. Keep Petra alive, of all people. Alright, back to the beginning. We know we're going to need to use the Assault Troop Gambit. I will have Ferdinand just get rid of this guy. That's a great dodge there, so Ferdinand is
Only
not
a
in
fool
mortal danger.
challenges me.
Now Petra can heal herself a little bit, just a little bit of an insurance in case I messed something up again. We'll do the same movement shenanigans with Dorothea to get Manuela out here so she can cast fire. And now we should be okay. Get these Pegasi coming down who can do some really bad things to our units. Ferdinand doing a bit of a mage duel here. We get the slow-mo matrix effect on that fire spell, so that was cool. Sighleth showing off why he's using Kirsten's arrow right now.
That is that.
I will
And
get
just
the
a
victory.
few more dudes here to take care of. Petra is carrying a pointy stick as is tradition, but it is not very good, and she fails to blow the robes completely off of this guy, illustrating that dressing for the weather is an effective strategy. Remember that for the winter months. Ferdinand comes in and can finish off the
This was
assassin.
beneath me.
And now Dorothea has this to worry about. She can double up the sniper, but she has to run away. Run away very quickly. There you go, Dorothea. Manuela might be able to finish off this sniper. Yes, exactly enough damage. We'll take it down.
I've still got it.
And look at that, the Saros Magic Core gets a little bit of power. And the Experience Gem, which is critical to the whole idea of this run when we have to transition the entire A team over to the church
battle,
units. We're
a
going to
chance to
very
grow.
rapidly need to scale people up. We see Flane is more of a porcelain figure
Such power
at this
dwells
point,
within.
given the size of the characters. Now the Pegasi come down again. Hopefully we don't have to rewind anything. Ferdinand, again, getting that dramatic Matrix moment. And can you finish what got started here? We're actually going to pass Thyrsus off to Sighleth for the moment.
Only a fool challenges me.
Who can use it. He has a crest. Constance
I pale in
gets
comparison to my
very
allies.
bad level for what she's doing. Magic not going to be very helpful until we get our hands on a bolt axe. And speed on Fortress Knight, not really doing much. Alright, Dorothea, we need some help, so we need
I'm here to
this
help.
to work.
I have an idea.
Okay, that's historically not a very good thing to say, but it looks like it did actually accomplish what it set out to. Reversal has some very strange properties to it. If you all weren't aware of that, it doesn't work like it should all the time. You might have seen this in some previous battles with that Dorothea was involved in, that sometimes if the unit lives through the reversal, the one you actually targeted, it doesn't actually go through and hit the second unit in the line. And there's some fairly complex reasons for that. Basically, it's
I won't
just
go down
bug.
so easily.
But when you kill the unit you target, then it does work like it's supposed to. You just don't swap places with that unit. Here goes Sighleth with a miasma on that assassin. And let's see, we'll do a little bit of trading. We'll give Thyrsus back to Ferdy. And now his Thoron is going to crit, of course. Like, why wouldn't
You should be honored.
I'm impressed.
I kind of was too. Sighleth actually remembering to praise somebody when they're doing the thing that they're bad at. Okay, we have a squad coming up from the south. And of course we need to keep moving to the north so that we can make progress and actually finish this mission. There's also going to be thieves. Start running away. And here's a fancy animation from Dorothea. But we need to be able to keep up with those thieves. And I think our best chance to do that is Dorothea and
Just when I
Sighleth.
decide to disguise myself as a mountain bandit and sneak in, we get attacked. Just my luck.
Yeah, someone other than a person forced onto Sighleth's squad is complaining about luck. Oh, they going to start splitting up their aggro squad? Ferdinand taking a shot that only had a 31% chance to hit, returning fire with Thyrsis. So that guy should go down pretty fast. Very dangerous units coming from the south. Dorothea can pretty safely aggro her way in if we take care of this sniper.
Oh,
Swordbreaker, not sure how great that's going to be, given that dodge tanking, I'm not sure is ever going to be a role Dorothea will play. We'll equip that experience gem onto Manuela, and she should be able to take this down without even getting
Not my
first
battle.
struck by that sniper. So she doesn't gain a level off of it, but she does get very tantalizingly close. Come on up here, Sighleth, and now Ferdinand can melt down this Fortress Knight for scrap metal.
You are nothing.
Okay, now we just have Bernie. You gotta get her out of the line of fire. And now we're okay for another turn. We have that guy trying to run away. The south squad will be a little bit impeded by that forest, so that'll buy us a little more time. Flane here coming in and absorbing some important damage so Sighleth doesn't go down. Okay. Manuela, notably not a healer, but she does have the fire in her soul to get to level 18 from that kill. Lawrence is here without a shirt to support her, and that is evidently what she needed. The last level, I believe, that she got involved only her charm stat, so I guess that's what she needed to charm Lawrence into coming along without his shirt. That is not an ethical teaching practice. Let's reflect on that for a moment. But we're going to move Sighleth forward into a very dangerous position, not even at full health, but with Volganon, his
more every day.
counterattack should finish it off, especially after that poison strike. So we might be okay. We are taking some risks here. That thief is about to escape. We do have to get rid of it on our next turn. Sighleth dodges,
That is that.
which was very lucky. Only a 21% chance that that would have happened. But now we have to take out this sniper, and we are not even close to fast enough to make that happen. We're going to try and freeze it in place in case we can't get anyone else to finish it off. And I think that was the only damage output that would put it anywhere near death on this turn. Dorothea can go for this. She takes a lot of damage from the rattled thief, but she doesn't quite die, so she can finish it off, get the rapier. Very important piece of equipment. And I think we're going to have to go back to the south to help Hanneman and Petra out, because there's just a little too much coming, a little too fast. Hanneman can absorb all of the damage from the brawler, at least. Get a little experience just sitting there.
Age is but a number.
And this other stuff, though, might be a little much for him.
I
So
am Ferdinand
Ferdinand,
von
obviously, will be able to help, as he can help everyone. A Thoron will be able to hit the most dangerous unit, which is this assassin down here. And now we are in a position where we can get rid of things. Sagittae will one-shot the brawler if it hits, and it does.
Victory
Excellent.
received.
Just the assassin left, so that'll be bad. We have Sighleth and Dorothea staying up on the north. Dorothea might be able to fly around a little bit. Hanneman's just gonna huck an axe for the fun of it. He gets exactly 3 XP out of it. I hope no one dies. Sniper making some confusing moves, going for Hanneman. Okay, so Hanneman survives. He's on a heal tile. He's poisoned. That's whatever. Sighleth taking some pretty major hits here. Flane absorbs a little bit of damage. But now Sighleth and Dorothea should be able to take care of that apparently quite dangerous mage. Manuela making moves.
Better luck next time.
And we see the battalion gets precisely +1 hit. Excellent. Now, Bernadetta can actually block the path of this guy. Goes for a smash just for the additional damage output. And now we should be able to put our more glassy cannons behind her to finish things out. Do we just need one spell? Yeah, just a little blow of the Brigid Winds will do it.
I will not be stopping.
And now we can think about how we're going to get everyone to the final little boss area after we kill this guy with a 9-healer out of Dorothea. There's fancy animation.
I won't go down so easily.
And now we just need to do a lot of flying around and repositioning, because the only objective left is just getting rid of the boss. And there's that sniper down there, just reminding us that he exists as well. So we're going to see some menus, do some healing, do a lot of moving. And now finally we have something else to look at, which is Dorothea firing a bow at this mage. She has all of 6 hit points, which is not a lot of them. It is enough to be alive, but not a whole lot to plan our attack around. And we do have to be wary of that sniper, because if it does attack us, we won't live through that. That's not the kind of squad we have. Bernadetta would, but she would still get poisoned.
Each battle a chance to grow.
Now that mage is down, so... Ooh, the sniper is still coming for us. Dorothea cannot invite that out, so she has to get in a better position. We can get rid of it with Ferdy and Petra, maybe, because they're at full health. So we'll have to figure out how we want to do that. Obviously, Hanneman can take care of things. Well, where do we want everyone to move? Well, let's go ahead and get some movement going. I think the way we want to close this mission out is just to have Dorothea flip some people over into the place where they need to be. I think the walls are permeable like that. So we'll just do some rallying and movement and stuff. And yeah, we just have one space of wall, so we can flip people in where they need to be. We do need to actually take the sniper out to make that play viable. So let's see, how can we do this? There's another sniper, okay. Dealing with multiple, so Ferdinand will get rid of the first one.
The mark of nobility.
And now that axe user is going to come for Sighleth. I don't know if Sighleth could actually take one hit of that, so we're going to deposit Bernadetta over there, since it's all physical attackers. Now, Ferdinand is safe enough to just go in and Bolganone, and he should finish it on counterattacks. Sighleth feeling pretty spicy here. Let's see how this tactic plays out. Ferdinand takes the 19 and is fine on getting the counterattack. We did have a little bit of a failure chance there, as we do in the entire run. We're going to get a tiny amount of HP back from there, but it looks like Sighleth did indeed survive that axe hit. Bernadetta doesn't have much to worry about, so she's just going to go in.
We're all unstoppable.
And it appears that the only thing that's unstoppable here is Mech Bernie, for she has not been damaged by anything that we've allowed to get to her. Magic is her weakness. This guy does not have that. So Ferdinand's going to rub that in his face with a whole bunch of these magic guys who are going to just rain a bunch of fire on specifically not him, if you notice that animation. And then, Sighleth, are you going to claim the credit for all of this? Yes, you are, with your dark magic. And that gets flamed to level 18.
I feel my strength building.
That's not what that is. You might want to think about what you had for lunch.
Are you uninjured?
A few scrapes and bruises, but yes, I'm well enough.
Physically, maybe, but not mentally. And Ferdinand the MVP, as he is in all of our hearts.
How bloody stupid are you? You should be ashamed. You are supposed to set an example for our students. We have taught our students well. We are the only teachers this academy has.
Well said, Hanneman. Would you care to join me for a celebratory drink?
That sounds lovely.
I know where the enemy is. Where Solon is.
I ask that you leave this to us.
Lady Rhea, sending us out there is the most strategic move we can make. There is no one here who is more powerful.
Understood. I will give you the order. I want you to use your power, Linhardt. You must be killing to be living.
I passed? Well done, me. There is a group of people who want to kill us, after all. What?
To close things out today, and it is the story mission for Chapter 10.
We are now within the Sealed Forest.
Horses won't fit through there.
We'd better finish this fast before the pigs start flying everywhere.
Remember, it is a bad idea.
It is a bad idea, isn't it, Ferdinand? Now, there's a bunch of monsters, a bunch of other units. You'll notice Edelgard is actually not force deployed on this mission. Hello there, Monica. And, well, that means we don't have that crutch to lean on. So we'll split the squad up into two different parts.
I might be forced to escape.
And Monica is getting impatient over there. So we'll just see we have Bernadetta, Linhardt, and Sighleth taking on the right path. As Linhardt has unlocked his secret strength of being in the air, and Bernadetta is still in her mech suit. Constance is going to be over here dodging a little bit with the hand axe that she uses to try and get a little bit of logging done. Now, actually stopping this monster from attacking is going to be a little challenging for a three-person squad. So we're going to have to use a gambit to break down enough of the barriers to stay out of trouble. Now, note, we also have that dark mage in the back threatening to kill Bernie, so we're going to have to route around that as well. This is weak to swords, which is not terribly relevant at the moment, so we're just going to use some more gambits. And we see a stylish little harness on the wyvern there. If you all have ideas for the name of Linhardt's Wyvern, which I believe is new for this series. I think he might have had a wyvern when he was on a T team before, but now as a major A-team player, that wyvern might need a name like Dorothea's had in Season 1. So if you have ideas, let me know in the comments. Now we're over to left squad. Anna is back in action, and she's going to support Constance in just setting off the bomb there right outside the forest, so it's off theme.
Put me in there.
And Caspar. Oh, Caspar. You're doing your best. You're just going to use a little bit of magic there.
Aye, aye.
And now the monster is back in attack mode, so we're going to use another gambit from Anna, who technically can get support from people, it's just not very helpful. That'll get rid of the rest of the barriers. Now the rest of the squad is free to do whatever they can, which for plate is not a lot, but she takes the opportunity to do a whole 15, which is simply unfathomable for a lot of our units. Petra missing that crit, which is just a missed chance for a lot of comedy given the numbers that we were working with. Ferdinand can just take care of the health bar, and we can see the monster having an existential crisis over what's happening to it. I think everyone that is blocking away can take this damage. That is actually a lot of magic damage coming in on Dorothea. Didn't quite anticipate that. So the level scaling here, we're not really keeping up all that great. Or maybe it's just our stat growths have been really awful. Anna is holding Thyrsus. she has a crest for those of you who have not used Anna before, so she is fine to do that, and Ferdinand doesn't really need the distance as much because he can survive being attacked on occasion. Petra stretching that principle a little bit, but she is still standing. Caspar gonna go in for his 3, making his contribution how he can. Constance should be a little safer to attack, still only dealing 8 with the lance that this monster is supposedly weak to. Going to get a fancy movement combat art, but that's not going to help us get rid of the monster. And this Thoron is still leaving it at 14 and leaving Ferdinand at his previous level. Dorothea, can you finish this off? You just can with the Night Kneeler. Okay, so left squad has achieved its first victory and gotten Dorothea to level 21.
Well,
I don't, if we're being honest. Which I hope at this point we can be. Flane, I believe, can take some magic hits. Constance can as well. We really don't want this mage moving around and doing whatever he wants. So Flane wins that coin flip and ensures that she will be the one taking the brunt of that damage. Now we still have this monster alive over here. Linhardt's going to take out the Dark Mage, and we lost a little bit of footage there. I don't know what exactly happened, but we do miss the enemy phase, and we're going to skip right to trying to finish off this monster with right squad. And looks like Sighleth might do it with this Thunder. No, not quite enough damage. Linhardt should be able to finish things off. We're going to get off of the Wyvern and then go in with the punch just for the drama. It's obviously the best weapon Linhardt has.
worry not.
And now we still have this Dark Mage over here that we've got to deal with. Go in with Constance, get her the kill, and she just needs 75 more to get to the important level 20. We get a magic staff, which should help with damage output for some of our weaker mages. And now Ferdinand, level 23.
Always getting strong.
Yeah, I'll let you have the metaphor of strength just this once. We get the speed ring out of the chest. Now we're going to hope that Flame can take a physical attack in her armor. And looks like she can take what? Okay, one's fine, and it doesn't have the movement to allow the other one to take a shot, so everything's fine. No problems at all. Going to go to the bar there and get a select drink out for Sighleth. He just carries it around with him. And Anna is going to get some thunder in. This is actually pretty intimidating for this squad. Our big damage dealers are Petra and Ferdinand, so we're going to use Petra to take that out. We don't want them to take all of the experience, since we want everybody to have some modicum of ability to defend themselves. Looks like Caspar can actually put out some damage here. We might want to hand him that magic staff once Dorothea gets an opportunity to do that. And if we remember to do it. So Ferdinand is going to use Volganone, take it down in range for maybe Constance or Flame to finish off. Constance can do it exactly. Excellent, that gets her to level 20. And we see some guys just running straight into the tree.
Is such a small change truly an improvement?
Not a small change, and it is an improvement. So you need to reflect on things before you say them, Constance. We're going to do some item trading, and now we're back to right squad. Bernadetta not particularly worried about snipers, and just going to stunt on them with the dodge. Alright, left squad, it has more of the units that are hard to deal with, so this could be a real puzzle. 3 fairly powerful attackers up here for right squad. So I fear we're going to have to dump Sighleth's other gambit into this. That dude has a hammer, which could be a real problem for Bernadetta. So hopefully Linhardt will just be able to deal with the hammer guy.
Can I go now?
And Bernadetta's going up to level 21. Wow. Actual strength. Okay. The one time somebody doesn't use the name of the stat.
Luck is on
And
my
Yuri
side.
gets the stat name right, too. What is going on here? Okay, then. Linhardt, can you deal with our hammer bro over here? Not quite, so you can dodge it. We could be in some trouble over on right squad, even though they were the more dependable ones. We'll do some repositioning here so that our most vulnerable units are not as vulnerable. We might have a little bit of lead time here. Bernadetta getting pretty rattled by that hammer, but not in the literal sense, and she's fine, and the guy is down. Okay, good dodge there from Ferdinand, inviting that sniper out. The sniper is not in the forest, importantly, for dodging purposes.
Try harder.
And another dodge from Ferdinand sets us up for some limited successes at least. Good dodge there from Sighleth, too,
As expected.
who gets himself to level 23.
I'm not setting a very good
No,
example.
that's not your job. You notice he is still a Dark Mage, not a Dark Bishop, despite being level 23. His Reason ranking is actually quite low, given that we very rarely have the spare Explore points to invest in getting some faculty training from Hanneman or what have you. Anna, quite dodgy. That works out for her. And sets up Constance to finish this off. We'll have Flame and Constance, our armored units, be ready to have these mounted units come in and attack them. Ferdinand going to go in for a melee shot. Now we still have to finish off that sniper, so we're going to have either Petra or Dorothea do that, depending on their damage output. Looks like Dorothea can just get it done with the Steel Lance. And she should have enough movement left. Yeah, there we go. And we'll put Petra in the forest. She's pretty dodgy, so that should be fine. We'll have Linhardt go over there to provide additional support. And he can move pretty quickly, so if he needs to fly back, that's not too big a deal. Blaine taking a lot of damage, but actually hit the counterattack, and now she's a Master Armor Knight.
Committed to memory.
So she'll get that defensive offense skill. Now Bernie is going to fight a monster by herself, getting a favorable damage exchange here with that short axe. Eventually we're going to need to get the super rare ore to fix that thing, but that is a problem for the future. Anna can actually get rid of something all on her own. Let's give her a pat on the back for that, as she gets to level 16. I think Anna has had the best levels of the run, which should tell you something about how it's going for everybody else. Petra can use the Winds of Brigid to bring this Paladin to a pretty vulnerable position. And a Helm Splitter out of Flame will finish things off, and if she misses, she dies, so it's good that she hit.
I prevailed.
Okay, now we can do some moving and healing. We probably don't want to fight a two-front war anymore. So we'll try and get everybody around the forest to come and help on the right. This one is weak to swords. Bernadetta does get to carry a sword around because she has a weakness in that, so she can chop down that barrier. Now we'll just hide Sighleth in the forest somewhere. Linhardt hopping off of the Wyvern doesn't get him quite the dodging we wanted.
How long
And he'll
will
get
this take?
Battalion Renewal, which I don't think I have ever equipped on anybody. Flame Breath coming down on Bernie is not great, and the barriers are restored, but it looks like everybody is still okay. We can get in another chop down of the barrier with the sword, and Bernie remains at 31. Linhardt also carries a bow around, which is going to be very helpful
I'd rather be
for getting
napping.
rid of that unit with no risk of Linhardt dying in the process. We'll move Linhardt back over here to help dispose of this monster. Sighleth can attack that open square with no risk of retaliation, and he's going to take maximum use of that opportunity. Now we've got a lot of migrating, healing, and so forth to do, so we'll just do that at 8 times speed. And Sighleth taking a hit, which he cannot do very much with. That was a 69% chance for him to get hit, so we know how devastating that is to all of our psyches. Okay, Dorothea does not have a sword. She's not permitted to carry them. So we're going to have her use a gambit. And I hope reversal works like it's supposed to. It looks like it did. We even swapped with the monster. So we'll move back. And now Bernie can't quite get to the remaining bubble, but she can, you know, put a few cracks in it, and then Linhardt can finish it. So he is allowed to carry a sword, but it won't quite take the health bar out. So we're just going to chop it down with the axe. And that gets Linhardt to level 21.
I think I'm improving.
That stretches the definition of the term, but we'll get into the semantics of that later, I suppose, Linhardt. Sighleth can now freely attack on the remaining health bar.
No
so we'll get a little bit of a pained thunder there, Sighleth. Now we gotta just keep on trucking over here with the remaining squad. And we'll do that movement first. And Ferdinand is now in range with Thoron. Take it down to 16. So who will we finish things off with? Looks like Constance can get in for her 2 XP, is that? Yeah, 2 XP exactly. And now Lynn will get all of it. A lot more movement to do before we engage the next monster. Bernadetta can get right in range. And, ooh, this one can actually break through the mech suit. But she is still getting favorable exchange, and Yuri is there to observe. Okay, we also have to worry about being in range of Monica there.
Let's use our heads.
So this reversal might make it trickier to get out of range. But we have a lot of movement on Dorothea. She can get to safety this way, which won't obstruct anybody, but that doesn't actually get away. So unfortunately, we have to be a little bit obstructive. We can huck an axe with Bernie. And that one is weak to axes, so that is okay. And Anna's still holding Thyrsis, so she can pop the last bubble. And that is very helpful, because I don't know if we have the firepower to take this thing down without having Monica come on out and join the party. So Linhardt can get a ton of damage in with just a regular axe hit and fly back to safety. We can get Sighleth in position to attack. I don't know if we can actually get Petra in. It looks like we should be able to, but we'll do Sighleth first so that we can get the Poison Strike after the health bar switches to the next one. Hanneman gets to level 19, and that is an auspicious omen for the second half of the game. But it was a point of strength, which won't matter once he actually classes up. Caspar can deal 3 damage, taking it off of a funny amount of hit points, which is important. And now Petra can get in. If she gets a crit, that simplifies things, and she does. It's down, and she's at level 23.
Disappointing, but I will
It
not
is
misplace
quite
my heart.
disappointing, because that is
Well
not the kind of
done.
defense that we need for hunting by daybreak. But, again, a problem for the future. We're going to get a little bit more of a bond
So sorry.
with Constance and a little bit of XP, which is enough for Manuela as she synchronizes her movements with Ferdinand here.
I can still
And that
shine
is
brighter.
apparently how you get the good stats on your level ups. Alright, now we can think about how we want to deal with Monica. We don't want her to get any additional dodginess from a forest tile, so we'll have to be careful how we draw her out. If we go into this forest, she will be between them.
You're trying so hard, but now it's
We have been trying really quite hard up to this point. She's going for a gambit, which misses, but would have only hit Bernie even if it landed. So we are in a pretty good position to be able to take Kranya, Monica, whatever we want to call her out here.
You're a fool.
Get things started with fire to poison strike. That wasn't dealing as much damage as I'd hope, but Petra is our real big damage dealer. She dodges the fire. So let's see. Birdie can put in a pretty accurate shot. Still need quite a bit more damage. Bernie's not rattled, so she's not going to take anything from a counterattack. Looks like the axe lands. We get an Intech Arrest activation so that Yuri can go to level 14. Level 14, luck 14. Just keep it going, Yuri.
I'm just gonna come right out and say it. I find you a little difficult to be around. Please just go away.
Is this what it means to die? Strange.
Hubert, what do you make of the Ashen Demon?
Aside from having proven to be both impossibly powerful and a constant thorn in our side. Correction. Was a constant thorn in our side.
If you ask me, it's more trouble than it's worth. You have another one, right?
I do, but I'd still like to use this one if I can.
I'm sorry, what is happening? What is this?
Ugh, gross. Hey, creep! Cut him in half like my prices!
Please, calm down, ma'am.
You calm down, kid!
Well, looks like Sighleth's back, and no one's happy about it. Not even Anna, who doesn't even have support conversations of her own.
That is that.
And, of course, that increases his authority somehow.
I will no doubt make use.
And an armored blow for Hanneman. We see Sighleth standing alone as everyone backs off to have witnessed the proceedings. So we're going to use some movement shenanigans to get things going a little faster. We now have Solon up here in the north, another couple of monsters to deal with, and just a bunch of dudes. So we'll have to decide how we're going to split things up now, since those dudes are pretty mobile and dangerous. We can lock him in place with a gambit out of Caspar. The monsters are not very charismatic, and so he uses all of the intelligence he's built up over the years to lock that paladin in place. Bernie also has a blaze left, so here we go. We drop the bomb, and that should go behind that monster and lock down that Fortress Knight, who wasn't all that mobile anyway, and should leave the Dark Mage without a realistic way of actually attacking Bernie, which is nice. Ferdinand goes for a critical Thoron, which doesn't do a ton of damage, but looked pretty cool, as Bernie mastered that dance move that he needed. Now, Linhardt can fly in, pop the bubble in the back, and then fly back to safety. He doesn't particularly care if the mage attacks him, I don't think, nor does Dorothea. You have to use a Night Kneeler to actually deal any damage to pop the bubble, but she does it. So now we are pretty safe over here. Getting attacked by a mage shouldn't be too bad for her. Constance can use her presidency of the Knitting Club to pop one of those bubbles. Very strong needle. She did actually need just the one boost from using Curved Shot. Crit here from Petra will break down one more barrier, get Petra a little more authority as everyone looks on in awe at what she's able to accomplish. Sighleth can just make this go away. We don't want these problems.
Should I have held back?
And, Flame, can you break that in the back, please? No, you can't. You can get in a little bit of damage. Anna, can you hit at all? Yes, you can. You are just in range and just out of range to finish the health bar. Excellent. So we have to deal with actually getting attacked there, which is why we have a little bit of a frame around that monster to limit its movement. Caspar getting attacked isn't great, but he's not so slow that he gets killed, so that's good. Attack coming in on Dorothea. Not ideal. Not ideal, but her defenses are still standing. Some more dudes coming. We have a healer in the back. Fortress Knight and the Dark Mage out front is the biggest problem. Constant's going to do a little bit more knitting. And now that should give somebody the opportunity to break down the final barrier. Anna can do it from a safe distance, so we're going to let her just break it down. Lightning Strike pops the final bubble and gets us some Umbral Steel. Alright, now Sighleth has an opportunity to put out a little bit of damage. And now finally that health bar is vulnerable enough for anyone to take it out. Literally anybody. Like Flame, for example. She's literally anybody. And, okay. We're just going to worry about dealing damage to the monster, since historically that has not been our strong suit. A little bit of fire there. And, yeah, looks like that guy is going to attack Flame. And will just generally be a nuisance. So we'll start the process of getting rid of him with Petra, who is actually doing fine in that mage duel. We got some problems over here, and Ferdinand has a convenient little problem remover, so we're going to let him use that. Manuela oversees it, and there we go. That's quite fancy what we're able to accomplish. Now we have a lot more flexibility. Bernadette can just go in with the sword and get to level 22, as one casually does on any given day.
Whoa, did I get stronger?
I'll, again, let you have the metaphor just this once, Bernie, because you got some more defense, which is the role you play. Dorothea, 1 and 2. The Sewing Club is what I meant to refer to, and she is still going strong in her membership there. Tossing a couple needles to inconvenience that guy. Alright. Linhart does a little dance, keeps that guy alive just so he can cherish the embarrassment. The monster is notably not down, but fails to hit Ferdinand. Ferdinand finally gets hit. His boost from being at full health is now taken down. Flame being put in her place. And Petra's attack being undone by the healer. So we are all sad now, seeing all the progress we've made undone. Anna going to go in with the Thunder, 1 away from having the critical skill that she needs to be a meaningful participant. Looks like we cannot one-shot, so we're going to have to spend 2 spell slots. Turn this guy into scrap metal.
Flame Spirit, protect me.
And the Flame Spirit got called on for the appropriate spell. I like it, Petra. Okay, Constance can go in and smash this monster and only take... Oh, she just dodges them both. Why not? Alright, Sighleth, what do you got for us? Oh, you got something pretty good. There we go. I was hoping to set that up for Caspar, but no, Sighleth can't let us have anything. So now, Caspar has to try and help against this Dark Mage, so we're actually going to let him drink out of that flask that he's been carrying with him and hope for the best. Same with you, Flame. Back over on the left, we got some cleanup to do, and Bernadetta knows exactly what that looks like. No damage coming in on her. Killer Axe doing its thing. Yuri up to level 15. And what a level 15 it is. That paralogue might actually be possible. Okay, Dorothea can fly herself to safety and deal just enough damage.
This is going to hurt.
Or, well, 10 more damage than necessary.
I can't wait to challenge you.
Well, you probably could have done that a long time ago, Ferdy. Okay, then, let's get Linhardt back off the Wyvern. And punch a nerd. There we go.
And I didn't even enjoy it.
Now, Ferdinand can step in and probably just melt down that guy or take out the bigger offensive threat. That's probably the most possible thing.
The mark of nobility.
Since I don't think that Fortress Knight is going to pose much of a problem with an attack, it's only a 35% chance to hit, and it dies from the counterattack. We get a free steel axe out of the deal, and do we get Ferdinand another kill? Yes, we do. Just
the mark of nobility.
And he gets to level 24, as is to be expected. Both offensive stats, amazing. And neither of them actually gets to 17, so neither of them matter. Excellent. Constance tanking a few hits. That guy getting the remaining HP just to make us feel bad, I assume. Caspar getting in 8 damage with his mini bow. Okay. Now what do we want to do? Blaine doesn't take a ton of damage, still an unfavorable exchange here. Is her battalion gonna run away? Gets Lancebreaker, she found that. Gets to keep her battalion even. Good for you, Blaine. Constance needs to hit or she dies, and she slips right through that weird Plague Doctor helm. And now we can move with relative impunity, because this guy does not have a weapon equipped. And he is getting blown all the way back to where it came from. And now the right lane is open. The left lane is open too, so we're just going to do our movements, get ready to challenge Solon. Not very many units can actually take that. We'll ward up Linhardt, because I think he is still the magic defense tank. And we'll just see what happens.
I have no time to waste on the likes of you.
Yeah, we get that a lot. Okay, so we don't get the bow counterattack. We'll do a little bit of repositioning and stuff. Linhardt is still warded, so he's fine, and it looks like just punching the biggest nerd of all is our way out of this. Death cannot kill Linhardt. Think about that for a moment. Punch number 3.
That I would lose to mere beasts.
Linhardt unleashes the beast within. And does he get to level 22? He does. Is it worth it? Kinda. Defense and speed is fine.
But this is not the end. Tullus will carry out our mission somehow.
Okay, and who's the MVP but Linhardt himself? Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Please like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see the next installment. That might be a few weeks from now, but I am happy to be back and engaged with the channel. Thanks again. See you next time.